Hello again, hello, and welcome to a fresh edition of the CDC Hour. The CDC Hour is a 60-minute presentation about activities within the Congress for Democratic Change, Liberia's biggest mass-based political institution. Today is Monday, May 19, 2025. Today we'll be discussing a little about the CDC USA leadership induction that happened on Saturday of last week, and also we'll be discussing some national issues affecting our country. I'm your host Ishaka Sharif. We come right back after a bit of our theme song.
We come here again. We first the winners game. We come here again. Coalition for democratic change. Now the whole country champion they coming so.
Thank you so much and welcome back to the CDC Hour. Today is Monday and we are here again after a weekend break, and we delve directly into the show. On Saturday of last week, the Congress for Democratic Change USA chapter had an induction ceremonies for its course of officers that were, may I say, configured by the Congress for Democratic Change after a very heated election that brought about some disagreements, and Monrovia had to intervene to set up an interim leadership, and that leadership, led by Chairman Yahaya Talata Sharif, was inducted on Saturday in Philadelphia, the United States of America. That leadership comprised of over 20 individuals, as configured by the chairman of the CDC in connection with his National Executive Committee. So Chairman Sharif and his leadership Chairman Sharif and his leadership were inducted into office. Dara O'Kine, Rebecca Sayon, Yahaya Sharif, Comfort Mamite, and the rest of the guys who are part of the CDC USA chapter leadership. It was a very colorful program attended by all 50 chapters, state chapters of the CDC in the United States of America. You know, the US has 50 states. So all of those 50 states converged on Philadelphia and then had that induction ceremony. And so, you know, the CDC USA chapter itself is one of the auxiliary organs of the institution, very much vital to the survival of the Congress for Democratic Change in Liberia. The CDC USA, both morally and financially, has contributed immensely to the survival of the Congress for Democratic Change here in Liberia over the years. The first chairman of CDC USA, as per my understanding, was Mr. Samuel D. Tue, who was also Minister of Finance and Development Planning during the George Weah administration. We had the immediate past chairperson was Constance Duopo, Mistress Constance Duopo. Before her, we had Chairman Charles Kruji and the rest of the guards in the United States. And so, like I said, it was a colorful program attended by chapter states in the United States, and the chairman delegated responsibility to former Assistant Minister for Rehabilitation and Correction at the Ministry of Justice, Comrade Eddie S. Tarawale, to deliver the keynote address on behalf of the chairman of the CDC, Attorney Janga Augustus Cole. Eddie Tarawale is already in the United States. He's been there for a very long time, and so he took up that responsibility. And it was a colorful program, very magnificent program with a lot of institutions attending as well. A lot of very powerful people, stalwarts of the party, attending that induction on Saturday. And so the CDC USA itself, as I was saying, has been very much pivotal in making sure that the CDC remains afloat for the last 21 years since its formation in 2004. Uh, the CDC USA has always contributed both financially, morally, and whatever means possible you can think of to make sure that the CDC Liberia, the CDC Global, if I may say, remains afloat and very important and cardinal in the politics of our country. Um, Again, the CDC USA, I hope, after this induction, Chairman Yaya Talata Sharif and his leadership will bring unity, cohesion to the entire CDC USA because elections have consequences, like we observed right after the 2023 election. Every election has a consequence or has consequences. During elections, there are a lot of issues, there are a lot of bitter pills, there are a lot of, sometimes brother goes against brother, sometimes friends go against friends. You see two best friends during election, they are at loggerhead going opposite ways. So that's what election brings. And so after the election of the CDC USA leadership, the process was deemed, you know, uh, not satisfactory by one of the sides that was led by Manny George. And so they wrote a complaint to the chairman of the CDC, and then an intervention was done. And today we have a functional interim administration of the CDC USA in the United States of America. So that's why I said I hope Chairman Sharif and his folks in the leadership in the interim administration will make sure to bring back the CDC USA together, so that people who may have hard feelings can be talked to, can be reached out to, in order to have one CDC USA. Now we have a leadership, and that leadership, by the agreement formulated in Monrovia, agreed upon by both parties uh, in the process. Those who are currently serving, those who were inducted on Saturday to study affairs of the institution in the United States, should not be eligible to contest the chapter election of the CDC in 2026 next year. And so they are an interim administration there to lead the party in the United States for 1 year. That is 12 months, a 12-month period. And so right after that, the, the party will be going to convention in the US, and then we have a new breed of leadership that is oblivious of the current people who are serving as the leaders of the CDC in the USA. And so kudos to CDC USA. Collectively, they have done an extremely marvelous job. Collectively, they have acted in good faith. Collectively, they have remained loyal, they have remained committed and steadfast with the principles, the ideals, the culture, the tradition of the party. Because The CDC was founded on mutual respect, on tradition, on ideals, on culture. Okay, and so those principles all must be observed. If you, I mean, once you call yourself a member of the Congress for Democratic Change, and so on in lieu of that, I spoke to Chairman Yaya this morning. I spoke to him yesterday, and the due payment a process that was launched on the 12th of April for seditious to pay that due to their party. Chairman Yaya told me that they've already started in the USA and they have formulated a team. Comfort Mami T is the treasurer of the CDC USA, and alongside all other elected officials and the general membership of the party in the United States, have already begun paying their dues to the party. And what I've understood is that the way they're doing it, they are going to collect the funds, I mean the dues from potential partisans in the United States, and then put it in the bank account, and then before transmitting it to Liberia, okay, to the CDC Global in Liberia. So that is the process our comrades, our colleagues are now into. And so it's an indelible imprint that they are carving in stone in the history of this party. Uh, and Monrovia is here to support them. Chairman Janga Ko and his entire National Executive Committee are here to support the CDC USA, and or any other CDC chapter around the world. We have CDC Europe, we have CDC Belgium, we have CDC uh, uh, Netherlands, that is Holland, we have CDC Canada, and some some other chapters of the Congress for Democratic Change in Africa, like Nigeria. We have CDC, we have seditious in Ghana who have also organized themselves into another diaspora chapter. And so the CDC is growing in strength, from strength to strength. And then what the only thing we can say is that seditions in Liberia, the I won't always say ordinary partisans, but the general grassroots membership. I refer to the everyday sedition as the general grassroots members. Okay, because it is on their shoulders this party rests. It is on their shoulder this party was founded. They are the voters. They are the ones who go to the polls when the party calls for commitment, dedication, and loyalty. It is the CDC grassroots membership people that are there, and you find those people in Claratown, you find them in West Point, you find them in Sunnywen, you find them in Negro Town, in Brewerville, you find them in Cardwell, Red Light, and every other place around the country. You find them in Nimba, in Bassa, you find them in Bong, Montserrado, you find them in Bomi, Cape Mount, in Bapolu County, and they are just all over, and they are ever ready, gearing up to answer to the calls of their political institution. It has now become a, a, a it has now become a tradition. It has now become a culture that sedition will stand with their party no matter what. And this is on the basis this party was founded. I'm just understanding that a group of men and women, young or old, have now put themselves together to start campaigning as early as now for a George Weah presidency in 2029. And their motto, I saw something like their motto, they say, support without any string attached. That is their motto, support without any string attached. Meaning they are supporting without expecting anything but because of their dedication and their commitment, their love, they want to sacrifice for this party in 2029 to catapult George Weah back to the executive mansion in 2030, January 22nd. And so this is how seditions are. And so we call on all other seditions who are following this program, who follow various other programs on Kings FM and other friendly sisterly stations around Monrovia and Liberia as a whole, to express that will, that dedication, that loyalty to the CDC. People, I mean, the opposition, I mean, people who are the ruling government now, the ruling establishment, people from there keep asking, why do seditions love George Weah? Why do seditions love CDC? In fact, some people who are not seditions call CDC a cult. They call CDC all sorts of names. But come to think of it, right? You are a member of a political party, then you don't pledge full loyalty and support. What makes you a member? What makes you a partisan? So that's not how seditions are. Seditions are loyal people. Seditions are committed people. And their commitment and loyalty is on the basis, is on that basis George Weah came to power, CDC came to power in 2018, January 22nd. CDC is a very young party. Okay? CDC was founded in 2004. CDC was founded in 2004. And we took power in 2018, meaning just after 12 years of our formation. So we took power as a very young embryonic political institution, unlike other political parties that were founded uh, 40, 50 years ago, but have not claimed power. Okay, like for example, the current lead, I mean, the current ruling party, the Unity Party, was founded in 1984, right? In 1984, the Unity Party was founded. They did not come to power until 2006. So from 1984 to 2006, how many years? 1984 to 2006, 2006, 1984. So that's well, that's about 41 years. So if it's a 2006 minus 1984, so that's 41 years, right? Okay. And the 41 years, if you minus the 14 years of civil war, 14 years we fought war for, it will inform you that the Unity Party went more than 25 to 30 years before taking power, even after their formation. But we, as a political party, we were founded just 2004 and 2018. We took power, right? So we took power as a very young political institution, and so we came to the process, though we were young, but we had a lot of different experienced people bringing us to power. Okay, do you develop in 6 years? Can a party develop in a country in 6 years? No, 6 years was not enough to develop Liberia for the CDC. But at some considerable level, I think George Weah and his administration did an indelible and marvelous job. If you look at every sector of the country, look at every facet of our society, there is a CDC imprint. Just 6 years. So the argument should be, if the guys are arguing with you, they say, "Oh, Unity Party is the UP is better than CDC. UP has done more." The first thing you should tell them that, look, Both of these parties came to national leadership after the Civil War. Okay, but since the war, when CDC and Unity Party took over the helm of leadership of the country has given UP 14 years now. UP has been elected for 18 years. 6 years for Joseph Boakai and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. 6 years now for Boakai, through which he has gone 1.7 months. So 13, 13 years, 5 months of national leadership of the country under Unity Party. The CDC has had just 6 years of national leadership of the country. So they say, to whom much is given, much is expected. The country has given UP more, and so UP should do more for Liberia. UP should do more for Liberia. But instead of doing more for the country, they are annihilating everything. They are putting asunder everything that was built. The rule of law. Do you know what it took our forefathers? Do you know what it took our people to put a constitution together, to put our laws together, that you will come in just 2 years and you took everything apart? Recently, ladies and gentlemen, one of those media institutions that heralded the Unity Party campaign for Joseph Boakai to come to power had an interview, or had interviews in various parts of Montserrat, in the various markets, where the everyday Liberian goes, at the markets, at the construction sites, at the hospitals. I mean, where the everyday Liberian goes to hustle, right? They had interviews at various points across Monrovia, and the result, I can tell you for free, the result is very deplorable. The result is horrible for the Unity Party and the government. Of course, people are complaining the country is tough. This country is very, very tough. The country is like you just take something and place it under a rock, and the people cannot forgive the Unity Party. They came to power on the basis of lies and deception. But let me tell you, you cannot play politics with the economy. Not at all. You can't play politics with the economy. When people are suffering, they are suffering. You can't play. Look, a man who is hungry cannot play politics with his hunger. No. A hungry man is an angry man. People are hungry, but you keep playing politics with the economy. People go to the market, no buyer. In fact, the sellers are now more than the buyers. Businesses are collapsing. Investments are shutting down in the country and leaving. The country's economy is very tough. The rule of law is broken on a daily basis. The government is screwing up. They are screwing up. People are just stealing money everywhere. You just listen to the former president and CEO of the National Oil Company of Liberia, NOCAL, Rostalin Swakoko Dennis, who was suspended for time indefinite by President Boakai. Right? What did she say? She said they have been sharing money. They have been distributing money. When the president is going this place, NOCAL sends $2 million. When the president is going to the other place, NOCAL sends $1 million for Unity Party women in Magibi, for UP women in Bapolu, for UP women in Lofa. So that's how the guys are sharing the money. We are understanding since this morning, as reported by the independent newspaper, that the Liberian Senate has launched an investigation into a missing 200 million United States dollars. 200 million. 200 million United States dollars. 200 million United States dollars is more than the falsified $16 billion people placed on George Weah in his administration here that saw a dent in his re-election. 200 million United States dollars. We are understanding that the Senate has launched an investigation into the missing of 200 million United States dollars. Okay, and we have started speaking to some senators, and they are confirming that. But even prior to that, last week, Mr. Fode Masakwe from the CDC COP and some other comrades, Topa Kokoyize, were here, and together they are planning a protest for June 19 in demand of a missing 48.3 million US dollars. That one, that cash money, all those people have been dismissing. They have dismissed over 7,000 Liberians from their jobs for political reasons. They have purged the civil service. Purging the civil service is, when you say purging, PURGING, purging the civil service is setting a condition through which you take people out of the service for political reason. They are purging the civil service because of political reason. Anybody who they're not satisfied with, who they suspect of being a member of opposition political practice that they do not favor, they take you out of the system. And they have taken over 7,000 of those people out of the system since 2024. They have suspended over 2,000 more and held their pay. They have placed asterisks on their pay. Those people can't get pay. Other 7,000 people are dismissed, taken out of the civil service. And so, according to Josiah Jokai, some other people call him Joker, Josiah Joker. According to Jokai, they save $2.4 million every month from such a process. And in 1.5 years, that is, in 17 months, they would have saved over 35 million US dollars. And then other savings from the mobile money section at the Ministry of Finance, those guys have closed it down already. And they say the mobile money section was, it was too crowded. In fact, it's a CDC making. The CDC was the one who established the mobile money section at the Ministry of Finance. But the mobile money section, as created at the Ministry of Finance by the CDC government, was intended to pay people who could not come to Monrovia, who cannot come to Monrovia from Boajiken in Grand Cru, from place like Bokonjida in Sino. Those people who cannot come from picnics in Grand Cru, so that they can use the mobile money to pay them. You remain in Boajiken and they pay you through mobile money. But the guys have gotten rid of that. And so, Grand Cru County, the entire Grand Cru County does not have a bank. Grand Cru does not have a bank up to now. So, those people who have been paid through the mobile money process, those traditional leaders, those local government officials, health workers, and a lot of other people who are in the interior will now have to come to Monrovia before they get their pay. Or if you don't want to come at the end of the month to get your pay from Monrovia, you either remain there for the next 6-7 months. When your money compile to 7, 8 months of pay. Then you pay away. You come from Grand Crew, from Sino, from Riverside, Maryland, and then you come in Monrovia. So, but the guys have gotten rid of the mobile money system, which is very much tedious for our people. Yes, it was a CDC process, and we are proud of that. We made a mark on that. Look, there are a lot of things that the CDC did. These guys are not able to do, and because they are not able to do what they want, because they are not able to do those things that the CDC did in just 6 years, they have begun to undermine these processes. They have begun to undermine, those developments that the CDC did in 6 years. For example, they put up a flimsy excuse when they decided to break the PHP park, because they know that is a legacy of George Weah as former president of the Republic. So they wanted to break the entire PHP park down. So what they said during George Weah time, they advised the government to not build on the PHP, because that is where the fiber optic cable is passing, going into the Atlantic Ocean and what have you. Flimsy excuse. My friends, we build no park on fiber optic cable. It was a dangerous lie from the belly of the devil. It was a dangerous lie. But I think they were advised at the end that, look, you cannot destroy this kind of legacy process, because it was, a lot of monies went into it, a lot of resources went into it. If you go to the park today, like the Invincible Park that was built by George Weah in Congo Town there, right? The guy's plan is to undermine that place. If you go there now, the place is very, very dirty. The place is very dirty, unkept, because they want to do everything to undermine the CDC administration's progress, development that we carried on in this country. And citizens, you have to stand up. You have no tearaway. You have to stand up. You have to stand up to uphold the legacy of your political institution. You have to respond to the call of your party. You have to respond to the activities of your party. The CDC is here to stay. The CDC, George Weah does not matter to us anymore. You think we're doing it because of George Weah? No, we are not doing this because of George Weah. George Weah does not matter to us than ourselves. So this party is our property. George Weah, McGill, Tue, Eugene Nangbe, the rest of the guys who, Janga, Jefferson Koji, the rest of the guys who are currently at the national leadership of this party, will leave it with us. Any of you can become chairman of the CDC in the future. You can become secretary general. You can become vice chairman of the party. So this is not about George Weah. It is about us taking the helm of political leadership of a political institution, a vibrant political institution built on the principle of commitment, dedication, and loyalty. That is the CDC we are talking about. Yes, that's the CDC we are talking about. The CDC is here to say, even President Bwaka cannot do anything to the CDC. No, he cannot. It's beyond him. The CDC is beyond Joseph Numa Bwaka. The CDC is beyond Jeremiah Kuhn. The CDC has a foundation built fundamentally on your sweat and blood. And so it is beyond any individual. So if President Bwaka says he will erase the CDC on the face of Liberia's political spectrum, he's deceiving himself. Anybody who might want to erase the CDC from the surface of Liberia's political spectrum, I mean, you will finish yourself first. You're going to finish first, not the CDC. The CDC is here to stay. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. The CDC is not anybody's personal property. And it will not become anybody's personal property. So it will not become anybody's tool to say you will finish because you don't like it. No. Whether you like the CDC or you don't like the CDC is here to stay. We are Liberia's biggest political movement. So when President Bwaka said, when he told some senators, look, and anybody you tell about CDC, they will definitely come and divulge everything. He told some senators that, look, under my administration, I will see to it that CDC will erase CDC. Can you erase CDC, President Bwaka? Can you erase CDC? You are joking. So that's the plan. That's the plan they have for the CDC. I think you saw there was a point in time 2-3 months ago. Not 2-3 months. I think 4-5 months ago when that speakership wahala got heated up at the legislature. You saw police, barrage of police vehicles went to the CDC headquarters and invaded the headquarters overnight on grounds that they were looking for they said they're looking for this one, they were looking for that one, and they threw over 500 canisters of tear gas into that one compound. It did not break the CDC. When the United Party under President Sirleaf and Joseph Boakai sent police officers to the CDC headquarters in 2011, when they sent police officers to the CDC headquarters in 2011, when they killed Maurice Groma, and we will say this without stupor, we will continue to say it. The man who killed Maurice Groma is in the police today. He's the police 102, Deputy Inspector General for Operations. His name is Nelson Freeman. Nelson Freeman was the one who killed Maurice Groma right at the CDC headquarters. And he would have killed more than 5 other people had unmailed. The Nigerian unmailed contingent had not disarmed him. He was disarmed by the Nigerian contingent of unmailed. In 2011, I was there when Nelson Freeman killed Maurice Groma. Yes. It did not break the CDC. There was an assassination attempt on the life of George Weah and Winston Tubman in 2011. It did not break the CDC. Joseph Boakai won the election. George Weah was coming back to the country. Imagine the former president coming back to the country, and according to the constitution of this republic, the army can only come out when they are mandated by the president of Liberia in consultation with the legislature. Legislative approval because the president will have to inform the legislature that he's putting the army aside for several reasons, whether state of emergency or what have you. But George Weah was landing to the country. The army moved to to the airport and created a scene. The army moved to the headquarters and created a scene. Another assassination attempt on the life of George Weah. Oh, yes. First time he was coming to the country, he was coming back to the country, right? 4 days to his departure from Ghana, the Minister of State was informed by the protocols of the president that the former president was coming back to the country in 4 days' time. The Minister of State, Sylvester Grisby, in the know, said, look, the former president is welcome back to the country anytime this is country and what have you. But 30 minutes for the president, for the former president to land. I'm saying this to you, 30 minutes for the former president to land, right? The airport authority said there was no parking space for the airplane, for the flight on which the former president was landing on. So the pilot asked the team of the former president, said, what can we do? Because I have to land. And so the pilot made a decision to have landed in Sierra Leone. Yes, the pilot made a decision to have landed in Sierra Leone. It was when the issue was resolved. That was a classical assassination attempt on the life of the former president by the Joseph Boakai administration. What do you want from this one man? What do you want from this one man? But on one unification day, National Unification Day, Mr. Boakai would take his phone and put it on private, unknown number to call the former president. If you want to call the former president, call him on a known number. Not everybody can answer private calls, right? And the former president said he missed the call, and Joe Boakai sent a text accompanying the missed call. And then it was when President Weah responded to the text, because when somebody sends you private call, you can't call back because there is no number. There is no caller ID. So you can't call back. So he responded to Mr. Boakai's text message that accompanied the unknown missed call. Is that how you reconcile the country? In fact, reconciliation is, for me, reconciliation is not about calling former presidents. No, it's not about calling political leaders of country. Reconciliation, like in George Weah's time, is about creating a favorable environment in which people must thrive, in which businesses must progress, in which people must prosper. But you have come and locked the country. You lock the country. Businesses are not going. People are not prospering. But for somebody to even get $5 is not easy. Then you say you're reconciling the country. No, you can't reconcile the country like that. No, the country cannot get reconciled. Ladies and gentlemen, last night I listened to the Minister of Internal Affairs, Mr. Francis Newmarlin. In Mr. Newmarlin's utterances last night, because Mr. Newmarlin is the Minister of Internal Affairs, responsible to manage the traditional and cultural orientation of the country, also responsible in collaboration with the Liberia Immigration Service for border security. The Ministry of Internal Affairs also is responsible for national security, because the Ministry of Internal Affairs is a member of the National Security Council. In Mr. Newmarlin's utterances last night, He made the country to understand that the government is giving an olive branch to people who are organizing protests to protest. No, Mr. Newman, for people to protest, Mr. Minister of Internal Affairs, for people to protest is not in the purview of the government. For people to protest is a fundamental right guaranteed under Article 1 of the Constitution. That's why Article 1 says all power is inherent in the people. Also, Article 17 of the Constitution calls for peaceful assembly. Article 1 says all power is inherent in the people and all governments are instituted by their authority. According to Article 17, it says people have the right to protest. It is a fundamental right. A fundamental right. It is a God-given right. It is an inalienable right of people to protest. It is under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that people protest all around the world. It is not in any government's purview to decide whether people protest or not. So, Mr. Minister of Internal Affairs, you are dead wrong. To protest, it is not anything given by government. It is something that the people must take unto themselves. So, ladies and gentlemen in Radio Land, you are listening to the CDC Hour on Kings FM 88.5 and Cloud TV. We have just 12-13 minutes to the end of the show, so you can now place in your calls on 0772 239933 086 304497 or the lone female line exclusively for female on 0777 You know, we respect our mothers, our sisters, and the rest of the people. So this 0777 number 980375 is just exclusive of female. I think we have a caller on the line. Hello, good evening. So you can call us on 0772 239933 086 304497. Female line 0777 980375. So until okay, I think we have a caller. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Ishaka Sharif.
Yeah, welcome to the CDC Hour.
Well, my name is Mohammed Donald Sofana, the most civilized Madingo born representing Norfolk County.
You have 1 minute.
Yeah, well, you discussed me, Mr. Humane, implemented it's a old paper that didn't go to school because the way he comes to this school, he comes to the public, it's not in the community move. This paper, he always comes to the audience, he always comes to something that is not in place. But humanity, they only have control within a Fuller district. As their humanity, they can go beyond Fuller district and local county. You can say, humanity is a paper that only control Fuller district.
Okay, thank you so much. We have another caller on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to the CDC Hour.
My name is
Yes, let's hear you.
Yeah, I just want humanity to know that the Senegal Constitution that gives rights to people protesting. Mo Ali quoted that Constitution that gave them the right at that time for them to protest at the Capitol building. So definitely will use that same constitutional power to protest. It shouldn't be afraid. They do it already. They protest it. And the king, they protested, and people gave them water they drank. So we use the only thing they should be able to do for when coming up. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So, you listen to the last caller. Yes, Mr. Newmarlin and the government. Protest is a fundamental human right. You are not the one as a government to give it to people. It is the people. Hello? Hello? So, the the people will go ahead to protest, and a lot of different institutions from the civil society have already started recognizing the protest leadership and pledging their support to the July 17th protest. Okay? And so the protest is gaining momentum. The Liberian people are suffering. And one there is only one thing. The people want the government to do better. Do I want the government to do better? Yes, I want the government to do better, because if the government does better, the Liberian people will progress. The Liberian people will thrive. Liberia will become a better place. So I will not come and sit here and say I don't want the government to do better. No, I want the government to do better, certainly, because even George, we are coming back to to the presidency. We want to inherit a better country. We cannot inherit a country in tatters. So the government, the people want the government to do better. That's the message they want to send. They want to petition functionaries of government. They want to petition their leaders to inform them that the government is screwing up. I think we have a caller. Hello?
Yeah, hello. I'm looking to call for Ria.
Yes, let's hear you.
Yeah, the person talking about my time is about the people that people is using a weekend to go. When you people who go to money, when I'm trying to work more, the solution that one of the of the party. I'm going to be out there with people.
The protest will be very responsible, and we'll have our own security on that day as to weed out any potential problem makers. Okay. Do we have another one? So, the people want the government to do better. The people want the country to succeed. The people want the country businesses to thrive. The people want everything to progress. And that's the message they want to send to the government. They want to send that message to the functionaries of government. Hello? So the government should not see the protests a mean of targeting them. No, the protest is not targeting the government. The protest is not targeting government. The people are going to protest against the ills in society. The people are protesting against the ills in the society. $48 million stolen, $200 million unaccounted for, $22 million. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Let's hear you. Welcome to the CDC Hour.
Yeah, oh my God, for talking question for Nimale, they come to for Nimale one. They come to belong to them. If we say belong, if they belong, poor people, then I need a rich people get a country. Nimale not say, they will not forget about our president. Our president, they stop it on that part of the airport. He went and learn where to speak on. Let Wakam stop it. Wakam stop. We don't want poverty in Liberia. Tomorrow we're having 3 more old baby and work for all the way to our village. Grand came a country behind it. So we don't want problem from the people. They must stop. They must stop doing all the wickedness to the child. They are not looking for it. They must start looking for the poor man here.
They are not looking for them.
You're looking for now.
They must
You
start
are
looking for.
it.
They must
You
start
always
looking
say
for the
peace.
child.
They feel that la test what he said to the man. He said test for a record stamp. He should forget about our son. Our son are people man before we get picking the country today, they belong to him and call. We should forget about the poor man. The poor man for poor people. You know the wicked way in his heart. I always God bless him.
Okay. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama.
Second about the
You
deep
have.
payment, every time being a due in the taste training. Our people getting on happen.
Okay.
The poor want pay the due.
Okay. Thank you. You have done well. Hello. So you heard her. Very passionate. Very passionate. Do we have one? Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Welcome to the CDC Hour.
Thank you so much for tonight. My brother, you know what I want to say here. If all men here was friends with what can be. Ladies and gentlemen, we are alone.
We lost you. Okay.
We are simple for 2029. We are faithful people. She said we are faithful people. We have to say we're not so violent. We can feel violent, but according to all, we can't fight anybody here. We take all time, and now we come by his power. But I will be clear to anybody on EU to say it's not work. That you lack. We're coming back. The protest, we will protest and we'll make sure for it to come down. That's nothing. We have to do with people. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we will take the last two callers. Hello.
Yeah. What's up? How you doing?
Good morning, me. I'm good.
Yeah, this is Donzo, man. Well, I just want to send this comment to President Bwaka. The president is not there to take him from his power. We're not protesting to tell him that he should enrich himself about real individual, about demons. Enrich himself about demons.
Of course.
We're not taking him from his power.
I agree with you.
We're taking from there. You get what I'm saying?
I agree with you. And people should stop sending that kind of messages.
Man who said that he have a 2 year of experience in governance, you know, they govern himself a little bit get about crucial of leadership. But let me say this cabinet to Normally, you wouldn't have vision in prayer this way. Grammar this way, quality this way, government this way, even no authority. So that's when you go, you want Samata, we love everyone to say Samata, you want Samata. Thank you. This is Mohammed Nongo for Chino once again.
Yeah, Madingo been speaking through Tabata. Thank you. Okay, so we are coming to the end of the show. So maybe we'll just take one more caller if there's any. So that is it. The people are protesting in order to petition the government to do better. The government needs to take the bull by the horns and make sure that things are better for the people of Liberia. So, ladies and gentlemen, our next edition will be on Wednesday. And so, yeah, we're listening to the CDC Hour. Let's take this last caller. Hello? Yeah, hello. Let's hear you.
Hello, Mr. Sherry?
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Patient calling from Dubai.
Yeah, patience. Let's hear you.
Yeah, we want to ask you really party to why is so for a protest? Why they are for a protest?
That's a $1 million question.
For the past 6 years, the protesters in the country, nobody could hear that Joe 7 when we were coming here and say, we were coming fight. People are buying rest. Why are they for the protest?
Or none no protest bar.
So,
The line to the say,
will you be part of the protest?
I will be there. The line to the say.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for the show.
Okay, thank you so much. That's the last caller. Or do we have one bonus? Okay. That's the last caller. That's the last caller we are having, ladies and gentlemen. On the basis of that, on that note, we've come to the end of this Monday edition of the CDC Hour. Our next edition will be on Wednesday. So tune in on Kings FM 88.5 and Cloud TV. I'm your host, Ishiaka Sharif. Until Wednesday, I see you. Bye bye.
Double.
Trigger.
Aha, y'all want it roll, the punch giant ready to take
They
over.
will like it.
Y'all want it roll, beat Papa come here again. Y'all want it roll, Papa Georgie come here again. Y'all want it roll, Mama Joe come here again. Who want it roll, see Tisha come here again. Now they walk on trade giant come here so better move it roll. I say you're better move your roll. It's about to get away. Only about to get away.